Anyway, game number 1 is going to be Bbyong playing a TBT in Brood War. Good old B-Dog going to lead the charge for CJ Antis, who are in second place overall in the standings. Con, as a Con fan, I'm going to root for them to maybe climb back into a playoff position. If they do win today's match, they will go back into 4th place. They'll be tied with STX Seoul overall in the matches. They'll both be 9 and 8, but Con will have a better individual score, so that'll be good. That'll bump them back up. And CJ Antis, I think even if they take a loss, well, actually, if they take a loss, they'll drop from 2nd to 3rd because Stars actually has a better score than them. But that's they'll still be in a good spot. And looks like there's gonna be Reality coming out for Colin. So Reality, kind of a mainstay for Colin. Basically, him and Turn are the 2 Terrans that January always plays. January seems to like Reality more though for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Turn seems to be more reliable. Well, actually, no. Actually, I don't think it's fair. Actually, I'd say that Reality is probably more reliable, but Turn is more flashy and just like cool shit. So everyone wants to see Turn. But I don't know. I think January is probably on something here. Bbyong, on the other hand, at the beginning of the season, I was like, Bbyong, he's not that good. It's kind of random. Like I gave him a silly nickname, B-Dog. But actually, he's proven to be a pretty decent player here. I didn't actually see his stats just now. X-Pac is saying 4-1 Brood War. That's pretty sick. That is actually pretty awesome. So, TBT. The map will be... Oh, I didn't change overlay, shit. Dropped the ball already. Damn it. Anyway, we're gonna be on Jade. And it looks like Bbyong will be the brown Terran in the top left. And that means that Reality will be the white Terran in the top right. And I've not yet finished my 2nd slice of delicious Nutella on toast, so I'll be munching on that at the beginning of the game. I mean, it is a TBT, so it'll take a little while for anything crazy to happen. Unless we see like some proxy on proxy action. There was actually a really funny game last season that Reality played against Last on this map, where he proxied like on the high ground in the middle, did like an 8 racks. And Last like proxied a little bit later, he did like a 11 racks or 12 racks in the middle, like on the low ground, and just got completely boned. It's quite funny. So, feels grimacing a little bit. He's like, ah shit, I picked the wrong ways, I should have been Protoss and made DTs. Damn it. Sorry, you should have. But you didn't. Fool! I just realized I have to be careful not to spoil OSL finals. I mean, presumably everybody's watched it already, even though it's been like only 3 days. Like, if you haven't watched OSL finals, you're just a terrible person. Like, if you didn't watch it live, but you have a good excuse, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can let you off. Like, you need a really good excuse not to watch OSL finals live, right? But if you don't watch the VODs like within 2 days, then you're just a terrible person. So anyway. There's Jangmi, our recent OSL finalist. Actually, should I just spoil? X-Pac is saying you deserve to be spoiled. I think you do deserve to be spoiled. Jangmi, of course, our OSL champion, the last champion, of course. Meanwhile, we did see a much earlier SEV scout here from Reality. Gonna go harass in the base of Bbyong. We don't always see very early SEV scouts in this matchup because it's not very important to get in quite early. And oh, sick! Reality getting the SEV kill. Oh man. I think he's mad. Because he heard my cast. Like right now on his headphones, he's got my cast playing in his ears, right? Actually, that's cheating. Reality, stop cheating, okay? But so he heard me through time and space, and he was like, "What? What? Turn does cool shit? No, he doesn't. I can do cool shit too." He just like goes in and kills an SCV. Like, look at me. Why won't Toscar love me as well? Sorry, Turn. Or sorry, Reality. Toscar's already retired. She won't even interview you anymore. Do you think if you like buy clothes from Toss Girl's mall thing, you can like request to have them signed? Like, could I pay an extra fee when I'm buying clothes from their store to have it like signed by Tosco, because I would pay a lot more. I'm not gonna lie, if it was signed by Tosco. Like that should be part of their business model, honestly. Anyway, we do see 2 fact from Reality. And we see 1 fact expand from Bbyong. That could be a little bit dangerous. And by a little bit dangerous, I mean he might need... What does he actually need here? I was gonna say he might need a bunker, but bunkers aren't particularly... But see, because we see the fast armor here, the bunker might not even be particularly useful. So I thought for a second, since there weren't any machine shops going down, this might just be like a bunch of early vultures coming from Reality. But actually, it looks like it's gonna be some kind of weird Goliath attack or something, like a Goliath timing. Anyway, whoa! Lag into Marine Death and Vulture Death here. Now this Vulture, oh my god, it's gonna be so crucial. It's gonna see both. No, it doesn't see the second factory! Oh, he doesn't see the second factory. However, the fact that the second Vulture was already out though, might indicate to him that there was a second factory. I'm actually not sure how the timings worked out there. The second Vulture actually probably indicated that there was a second factory, but the crucial thing, as the observer noted, is that he didn't see a machine shop on that first factory. And oh, he's gonna trick the vultures through. Oh my god, pimpest play from Reality. He does the landing building trick to stack his vulture over the wall there. Oh my god, Bbyong walled himself in with the barracks and the depot, and it doesn't even matter. That was awesome. Holy shit. That was so cool. Oh my god, and that by the way is way harder than it looks. That's not just like, oh, let me just land my barracks here and move the vultures. No, that is fucking hard, alright? Oh my god, that is so cool. Wow, this series is already amazing. Dude, Reality's like proving me completely wrong here. Alright, Reality, I'm so sorry. Dude, you're like way cooler than Turd. My bad. That's entirely my bad. Look at him, there's like snapping SCVs necks with his scouting SCV and then like jumping vultures over walls. He's got like freaking boxer mode right now or something. I don't know what's going on here. Oh man. Reality. I wonder if like all the Terrans right now are in really good shape in Broodor because like they were helping Jangbi practice for the finals. Reality just won't stop. He's just go the cool level. Guys, this is just it's off the scale here. Oh man, it's over 9,000. Look at this. Jumping the vulture into hidden 2 starports at like a random location. There's no way Bbyong's gonna scout that. There's absolutely no way. Reality, this is oh shit. Oh shit! Oh shit! Why the fuck is the Wraith even going down there? Why is the Wraith going down there? What is it doing? Oh, he's going back! Oh no, he's going back, he's gonna see it! Oh no, he sees it! He sees, oh, why? Wait a minute, why did he go there though? I don't understand. Did he, how did he know that was there? I think the Wraith went into the main, and he counted all the buildings, and he's like, wait a minute, you should actually have more resources and more buildings than this. Like, why do you not have any infrastructure? And he was like, okay, this guy's probably proxied something somewhere. And then he just goes and like looks for the starports. And the thing is, like, we have actually seen this kind of hidden 2 starport play before in Pro League games. So maybe this is actually something that's just like developed in the TVT metagame, which is like you just hide 2 random starports. And so, you know, because the pro gamers' game sense is so good, when they go into a base, you know, they kind of have a sense of how much infrastructure there should be at a certain point in the game. So when something's missing, you say, okay, well, you know, why do you not have that? It's kind of like, you know, if you scout really early into a Protoss main and you don't see him getting goon range, you don't see any buildings, but it's like you feel like you should have it, then you're like, oh, maybe he's like hiding DT tech or something like that. It's like a similar principle, I think, but that's really, really good game sense from Bbyong there. Especially because the early game was so crazy, like with the vulture jump and, you know, losing the SCV. I mean, must have been a bit frazzled, but for him to like think very calmly like that, it's very good, very cool. Anyway, but I mean, Bbyong's going to continue with this. Now, or sorry, Reality's going to continue with this. Now, Bbyong did make one starport, but obviously 1-port Wraith production can't really match 2-port Wraith production. I'm actually not sure if he got Cloak. I didn't see the control tower blinking just there. But if he got Cloak, Reality will not have Cloak, so that could be quite useful. Looks like one Marine going to try and clear these mines at the 3 o'clock, or at the 9 o'clock rather. There were 2 mines there, which is quite interesting. So still going to be unable to plant the command center there for the time being. And it looks like is he going to continue to make Wraiths? What he might do is make a few Wraiths and then switch into making Valkyries, which are very effective against a bunch of Wraiths. That because Wraiths being air units, they generally clump up, and they're pretty flimsy anyway. So you see, since Bbyong has the armor anyway, he has the starport with the control tower, he has all the tech he needs. I think he really should be making some Valkyries as well. Anyway, looks like here come the Wraiths, and now the tanks have to back up here. Reality just going for it actually, with just a single siege tank, but the Wraiths leading the charge to pick off these siege tanks. But there come the Wraiths, and there's the first Valkyrie, as I said, and there's the siege up. So it looks like Bbyong is gonna be fine. He's gonna be a little bit careful with these Wraiths, taking some damage from the Goliath. That's not really what he wants. And now some people might be wondering, why did he make Wraiths initially instead of just making Valkyries? Well, if you just make Valkyries, it's actually a little bit tricky because Valkyries, they're a little bit clumsier than Wraiths, if that makes sense. Like the turning, the reaction time is a little bit slower. The initial startup firing is a little bit slower. And if you only have a couple of Valkyries, and he has just a few, like in low numbers, Wraith versus Valkyrie, if the Wraithing player just like spreads out a little bit and target fires well, the Wraiths will actually beat the Valkyries. So and most players make a few Wraiths initially just to help kind of reduce that effect, kind of add that little bit of extra direct damage for the low number engagements. And then once it gets into high numbers, you start adding on more Valkyries. Anyway, looks like there's going to be a counterattack here from Bbyong, and oh, he's a little bit out of position though. Gonna lose one siege tank there. Sorry about this lag actually. Let me go open the esports TV stream just in case we need to switch to that. And whoa, we have the move in here. It's gonna be pretty close here. It's very low army counts for both players here. Super aggressive play for both players. Somewhat surprising in a TVT. And looks like we are actually dead. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, no, we're back. But yeah, it looks like Bbyong's going to lose most of his forces here. Reality is going to hold, and I think that's a bit of a mistake from Bbyong there. I don't know why he thought he could be that aggressive. I think maybe his thought process was that because Reality went for like the 2 starports, as opposed to Bbyong's single starport, he thought his ground army would be far superior. And I think it was a little bit superior, but he just didn't quite get a good position there. And positioning really is everything in TVT. Having a few extra tanks here and there doesn't make a huge difference compared to like having a high ground or having a better concave or sieging up first and all those things. Anyway, spawning barracks looks like it might get taken down. Nope, not quite by these Goliaths. And now Reality going to set up a bit of a contain here on his opponent while also taking his 3rd base. No 3rd yet from Bbyong. He might have actually. Yeah, there's still that mine there. But I think he's building it in his main base anyway. I see something there at the bottom of the main. So I think Bbyong is making his command center at the bottom of his main. Just going to float that over to his 3rd. It's going to be a little bit sad when he can't land it because of that spider mine. But presumably he will notice in time and just scan that and take care of it. And oh, nice little Vulture harass here. Going to snipe off that SCV. It's going to be quite annoying. So it's going to delay the command center by a little bit. But right now, Reality is ahead 10-11 supply. And he has the forward position here outside of Bbyong's base, so overall the game is definitely in Reality's favor. Oh, and of course his 3rd is still going to be faster anyway, even though he lost that SCV. Meanwhile, Vulture is checking out these starports. They're no longer blinking, so no more, whatchamacallit, Wraiths being made. Now those mines, actually, Reality laid them quite close to a siege tank. And that's a little bit curious to me. I mean, that kind of mine positioning, normally laying spider mines around your siege tanks is a terrible idea. But in TVT, a lot of times you do like the carpet bombing where you drop your own units directly on top of your opponent's siege tanks. And in that case, if you have a bunch of mines all over there, it can actually be quite effective, kind of just to take out a lot of your opponent's units when he's dropping on your tanks. Meanwhile, we do have a Vulture drop going to the main here. Dropped a couple at the 3rd base there. Looks like one manages to go in the main, but there is a siege tank back home, so we'll take care of that. Looks like he's just going to try and lay some mines in the meantime, but not really going to be effective there. And even uses a scan to take care of that. Ooh, does take a mine hit though. That's a little bit surprising. And we're dead. Unfortunately, the esports TV stream is also not working for me. It says the live event will begin in a few moments. But clearly that is not the truth here. We know the truth. The truth is that Reality is being a baller at this very instant in time. Somewhere in the world, Reality is being awesome. Isn't that romantic? Anyway. Sayle is up now, and if you just look at the minimap, just look at the position that Reality has in this game. He just has like that sweeping line, kind of covering everything, and this is actually very interesting because on Jade, there's actually, you know, just holding that high ground in the middle isn't enough to really contain your opponent. There's like a couple of paths around the sides that importantly let Vulture sneak out and whatnot. So a lot of players, like, they'll set up a forward position in the middle, and then they won't really cover the sides, and Vulture will just run out and stuff, and it won't be very effective. But ooh! A lot of mine hits going off there, not actually killing too much there, but giving or forcing a siege up from Bbyong and giving Reality time to reposition his forces over to the left here. So I mean, just look at the minimap. Reality is kind of sweeping across the map, covering every single possible avenue here, kind of restricting Bbyong to his 3 bases. But the risk here is that he spreads himself too thin. So if he tries to cover all of these paths, obviously he's splitting his entire army across essentially like 3 different sections here: the north path, the middle main high ground, which is probably the most secure, and then that bottom path there, which is probably most difficult for Reality because it's furthest away from his main, so it's the furthest away from reinforcements. So if Bbyong just decides to just send all his army in one location, you know, it'll be like a bit of a blitzkrieg move here on the lines, and could quite easily break through any single part of the defenses. But it looks like he's just going for the middle here, and this is the one point I don't think he should be going for, because now Reality has the high ground here, and he's got a good spread on his siege tanks. There's no way that this is going to work for Bbyong. He is going to push the tank lines back a little bit, but these tanks are all vulnerable to the raids. There's no anti-air here. Those raids could pick off all of these tanks. Finally, the Valkyries come in. Actually, there's a lot of Valkyries here. 4 Valkyries now for Bbyong. Gonna help hugely against those raids. But he does have to be careful. He's keeping them with the Goliath as well, just to provide some support. But look at this, more siege tanks rolling in. Reality just gonna keep this high ground position here. Does not want Bbyong to be able to push up here. And I'm a little bit surprised that Bbyong's forcing the issue on the middle ground. I really thought he'd either go along the north side or the south side. Even though those paths are a little bit narrower, you don't have to deal with high ground, and he does have a number of dropships as well. So, you know, if you just drop all over their units, then it can be a pretty good break. And of course, also, it looks like they're much less defended just on the minimap. Anyway, it looks like this spotting barracks of Bbyong, or sorry, of Reality. Man, I keep getting the players mixed up. Spotting barracks of Reality is going to get taken down there. That's alright, he still has some raids flying around, they can provide some vision. But you have to be careful with all those Valkyries there. So, looks like some SCVs going down to the bottom right, just to make some more bases. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of contain, you know. You want to make sure your contain is secure, and then once you kind of feel good about the contain, you know, you don't think you can break it too easily, then you start just mass expanding behind. Or not mass expanding, but taking expansions behind. Because obviously Bbyong has no way out, he cannot take a 4th base right now, so as soon as Reality gets that 4th, he knows he's going to be in a good position. And you know, he's already ahead like 25 supply, but look at this, there is the drop going down the bottom left. A few preemptive turrets in place though, very nice thinking, positioning by Reality. Of course they will get taken down, but that's not the point. The point is, ooh, snapping a dropship there and losing a Wraith in return though. Oh, his Wraiths actually got pulled in. Oh, he's going in again, but there's the scan. That is so risky. Oh my god. Did he just get one shot on all his Wraiths? Wow, Reality, big mistake there. 4 Valkyries, all that splash, and the Wraiths were all clumped. I think that was a pretty huge mistake to go back in and be that greedy. Losing his entire Wraith force in like 2 volleys from those Valkyries is so effective. Those Wraiths so flimsy. But it doesn't matter, he has so many ground forces here, he's just going to go in and just break this small position. Yeah, just only 4 siege tanks there, even though it's a good position for Bbyong, it's just not enough stuff here. And, yep, that is going to get cleaned up. So, Bbyong's position is looking increasingly dire here. The funny thing is, they're actually about even supply, but, you know, once again, it is just the positional game of TVT. Bbyong just like throwing units away, trying to break out here, not able to. Even if you know, Reality isn't being the most cost efficient, it doesn't matter too much. I mean, Reality now taking the bottom right natural as his 4th base. Interesting that he decided to take that rather than the 3 o'clock. I think the 3 o'clock might have had a spider mine at it, but also the bottom right natural and main have more resources than the 3 o'clock anyway, because the 3rd bases on this map have reduced gas values. And obviously in TVT, since you want more gas, it's preferable to not, or to take one of the other bases instead. The mains and the naturals. And looks like, oh, we have another drop here at the bottom left, and this time it's going to be enough. Reality didn't leave enough units home to defend, and a good core of Siege Tanks this time. Gotta be careful with those dropships, not to let those get sniped by any more Wraiths, although he did obviously kill most of the Wraiths already. And Command Center now floating down here. So Bbyong looks like he has managed to, if he can hold this position, he will have managed to establish a 4th base. But again, he can't reinforce this position by ground, he can only do it by air with the dropships. So that's just going to be a pain in the butt to just keep ferrying units over by dropship. And Reality is going to keep the pressure on here. Does not want to let Bbyong get a 4th. If he lets Bbyong get a foothold here in the bottom left, that completely defeats the purpose of his contain, right? Because if Bbyong can hold this position at the natural, then he'll basically get that that bottom left main for free. And look at this, Bbyong being cute with his SCVs. Unfortunately, he dropped them in like the perfect position where they were all within that minimum range of the tank. So none of the tanks actually shot, which is quite funny. But, oh, here we go. Here's the move in. The Cloak Wraith's also coming in. And this time spreading them out a little bit better. Oh, no! A huge mine bomb on all the SCVs. Bbyong didn't realize there were a lot of spider mines planted there. And he dropped a unit there. Oh, God, that was horrible. Oh man, and this is looking very, very bad for Bbyong. Looks like he might just go for one huge break on the middle. But look at the mini-map. It doesn't look like there's that many units left in the middle. Reality pulled a lot of those forces to go attack the bottom left. So I don't think there's that much left here. Yeah, look at this. Bbyong just going to go sneak around the bottom left here. There's a couple of Siege Tanks on the high ground in good positions. But, you know, 2 Siege Tanks isn't quite going to be enough to stop this massive army rolling down here. Reality bringing reinforcements in as fast as he can. Can he get in position? It looks like he will get in position in time. And this is going to be a death trap for Bbyong's tanks. Oh my god, the Valley of Death. He's on the low ground against the high ground tanks. But is it going to be enough? The Reality actually, with not as many tanks as I thought, it's going to be quite close. But even if it's an okay trade for Bbyong, he just can't he can't move down anymore. He needed to break through this position to secure the bottom left, and now he's actually dropped below 100 supply. Reality at 153 supply now. So a huge supply lead for Reality, and Bbyong is just getting really, really low on resources. He's desperately trying to find any place he can break out here. Now going for the north side, but again, Reality has the position already. He's established the tanks there. Even if he has, you know, fewer siege tanks, it doesn't really matter. And as you can see, Bbyong is going to have to pull back once again here. Cannot break through this position. He's going to siege up now. But Bbyong is dry on his main and his natural. He's only mining from his 3rd base now. Whereas Reality's got the bottom right natural, a fresh base. He's expanding to 3 o'clock as well. He's going to have another fresh base soon. And he's just tightening the noose here, squeezing the life out of his opponent. I think, you see, this is so cool because this was almost a purely, you know, after the early/mid game, this is almost a purely defensive game from Reality. He never once tried to, you know, break into the natural here or do fancy drops on the 3rd or anything like that. Actually, I don't think Reality's dropped a single time this game. He's just like, you know what, my game plan is to contain you on 3 bases and not ever let you leave, and then eventually you'll have no money and then I'll win. That's like his game plan. And you know what? That's a perfectly good game plan. And oh no, the SCV's coming off, the tank's coming off, but there's no way it's enough. GG for Bbyong! And Reality takes game number 1 for Samsung Khan, with just a very solid defensive style there. Getting that early contain and never letting go. That is actually my favorite way to play StarCraft too, as well. That's like how I play PvZ. I just like make infinity cannons, and I'm like, well, if I take as many bases as you do, if we split the map, then you'll just lose eventually. So